Grid, no grid, grid, no grid. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Civilization 5 with the mini continents AI only battle. Today, probably won't get too many turns done, but we are going to have a look at the info addicts. It is turn 1. Who the heck is that? That is the Sioux, I would presume, from the colour. Oh my goodness. Okay, well that is score. Score is not the most important category, but there you go. Maybe that will set a trend for what is to come. We'll have a little look. We'll go over how many civs are left. Let me just gauge this. There is 38 civs in competition still. I am 39, so ignore that. And the Corral died before we started. The Zulu, Poland, and the Garamantes have been eliminated so far. So here we go. Biggest populations, the Sioux with quite a lead at 12 million. Then it is Korea, Egypt, Russia, and the Shoshone, Rhodesia, Germany, Huns, India, and Rome, making our top 10. The 10 countries with more than 5 million people as of the year 800 AD. This game gets things really over proportion in the early years, and then in the late years it's really far behind when it's not like in the billions. It's quite funny. Crop yield, the Sioux leading again, obviously to support that large population, and this might suggest who's going to have the larger populations in the future. Russia in second, Rome third, Spain fourth, Rhodesia, Korea, Shoshone, the Huns, Mongolia, and Brazil. Onto another important category, production, and the Sioux leading again pretty comfortably. Spain, the Aztecs, the Huns, the Inca, Rome, Shoshone, Brazil, Rhodesia, and Mongolia. Gold income, the Sioux again leading the way, then the Huns, Russia, Rome, Spain, France, Shoshone, Korea, Rhodesia, Arabia. A few civs starting to appear multiple times. Russia, Rome, and Spain, the Shoshone and Korea and Rhodesia all appearing multiple times. Now, land, the Sioux are no longer, well, I don't know if they ever were, but they're not top of this one. Korea leads the way for land, then it is Spain. Now bear in mind the sea is included in this, so that does play a part as well. Spain, the Sioux, then in third. Russia is fourth. Rome is the fifth biggest country in the world, then it's the Shoshone in sixth, Brazil in seventh, eighth is Mongolia, ninth is the Aztecs, and then 10th is the Inca. No Rhodesia, they're just off the list in 11th. Australia also just missing out. It is very close for most of them. There is not much difference between maybe the top 15 in a lot of these stats. Military manpower, Korea and Russia pretty much neck and neck. The Sioux then sit in third, just ahead of Spain and France in Western Europe. Then it is the Huns, Siam, Shoshone, Ethiopia make the cut, and then the Aztecs in 10th place. No sign of the US. I do not get this. The US should not be alive based on the statistics we're seeing here, but they're just chilling, they're just vibing, having a good time. Fair enough. They're the first civ that I've picked that has made it past turn 100, so that is quite impressive. Social policies, France currently leads the way on 14, then it's California with 13. The Sioux, India, Spain, Congo, Texas, Benin, Japan, and Rhodesia all have 12. Some of the leaders there. Happiness, negative happiness is what we look out for, just in case anyone is down there. And at the moment, everyone's keeping it above 0, just about. Technologies, Morocco, China, California, the worst off on 22. There's a bit of a jump then to Texas, Babylon, Carthage, Australia, the Inca, surprisingly. Top 10 though, the Sioux is leading the way again with 35. So they're definitely penciled in the lead. Like I said in the last episode, there's either a civ that's really dominant and I just haven't realised it, or it's really close. And I think most of it is really close. The Sioux look like they're doing pretty well, but others can definitely join them. The Huns are just behind, then it's Korea, Rhodesia, India, and Rome all on 33. 32 for Russia, the Shoshone, and France, and then Japan is one of many on 31. And sort of 31-30 is probably about average for this game at the moment. Net gold, just make sure no one's negative. At the moment, net gold is an okay measure to use, but by the end of the game, they'll almost all be negative, so it's not too useful. Cities, Spain currently has 9, then there's 8 for Mongolia, Rome, Korea, and Australia. 7 for the Sioux, Inca, Aztecs, and then Russia, Rhodesia, and Brazil have 6. Wonders, the Sioux lead the way with 6. America actually has 4. So while you think of that's a bit of a rivalry, you've also got to consider if the Sioux kills America, they will have 10. So that's a pretty scary prospect too. Egypt and Britain then with 2, and then there's 1 for Rhodesia, Byzantium, Korea, the Inca, Spain, India, California, Arabia, France, and the Aztecs. Treasury. Some spend their money, some don't, so we don't normally look at this, but again, some civs near the bottom. Babylon with that 1 gold. Germany's got some saved up though. Total faith and faith gain we'll ignore, because we've seen the religions last episode, we know what matters. No one's influential. Great works, Babylon, India, Spain and Britain leading the way with 4. Then it's the Songhai, Rhodesia, France, Siam, Burundi and the Congo with 3. More times than not, this has worked out perfectly, like the cut-off of 3 to 2 of being like 10 for every page. There was one that I had to read out the 11th, but most of it's been spot on. Trade routes, who's got 5 so far? 6 civs up to 5. That's Rome, the Hun, Siam, Sioux, Great Britain, and Mongolia. And the rest will have 4 and 3 for some. Hopefully no one's got 2. Couple of 2s. A bit scary for them. And then tourism, we'll see in 800 AD. I don't know how much tourism there was going on, but there you go. Babylon, Spain, Britain, and India with 8. Rhodesia, Songhai, Burundi, Siam, Australia, and the Congo with 6. I have no idea. How long did that take? It took 5 minutes. So we've got a few more turns to get through this episode. But yes, the Sioux much further ahead than it first it seemed. But their technology, I mean, their units don't look great. But I was going to say their technology, they are leading. So I can't say anything there either. So we'll just see, what they get up to, I guess. Get a drink. Reading out those info addicts really does your voice in. Plus, it's my 6th episode of the day for me. Final one of the day. But, who is that? Pahak Tui. That is the Inca, isn't it? Quite far behind. Finally entering into the Renaissance era. I'm surprised by that, but there you go. At least they've made it in. Eventually. Could be worse, right? You could not be in it. Although I don't think there's many civs left. There was only those other 3 who joined last who won't be in there. Morocco, who else? Oh, the Aztecs quickly grabbed 2 cities on Cuba. That was very quick. Those might be a bit congested, but there we go. At least it would be pretty cool if the Aztecs could be sort of a local power that could at least cause the Sioux some problems. I mean, you've still got some pretty strong, you could almost say like states at this point. I guess you wouldn't, they're not massive, but like Texas here. This is going to be so difficult to fight. There's just so many units. California is not too bad either with 4 cities as well. Quite a nice shape. And the Shoshone, I mean, we'll see what they get up to Shoshone in the US. It's going to be tough for them. It's going to be difficult. Right, what is going on over in Europe? Germany should get Manchester, but if I remember correctly, Rome did just declare war on Germany, and it could go well for them. I'm not sure, but we'll keep an eye on it. And the Huns should definitely conquer this city, surely. Surely they should be grabbing this off Byzantium. It's not been a good game for Byzantium. They have really let it slip. But yeah, I'd expect Attila to grab this city, connect his borders. Would make sense. Songhai and Mali versus Benin. So they're already dealing with the Congo to the south. Both of them have taken a lot of damage, not as many units remaining. But yeah, this is going to hurt Benin now, having to fight on 2 pretty far away fronts is not going to be easy. They have gained a lot of sea tiles. I guess we'll see the land tile growth is limited, so it's all coming out this way. Rabat here, the other Moroccan city, is under siege from Mali, so that at least buys Benin some time. Some good news. Egypt here, we saw, of course, one of the more populated. I think they were 3rd on the population list. One of those surprising higher results, I guess, because they weren't doing too great on anything else. But 23 and 16, you can see why they were up there. Quite a populated and dense part of the world. Russia was another one. I think Russia was 2nd. But yeah, Korea was 2nd, but Russia was up there as well. Obviously, Seoul here is a big city at 23, 12 and 11. But obviously the Sioux, 23, 14, 11, 11, 9, 15, 10. Massive populations for them. Burundi, there's still so much damage going on over here. Ethiopia was one of the stronger militaries. It was a bit of a surprise, but yeah, they're not really doing much with it. Burundi is not the way to go. Ethiopia, they need to be focused on somehow taking down Mercuria. That is your goal. Get Egypt on your side, take them down. Worry about Burundi later. Don't worry about Burundi, who are actually quite big. With these 2, their borders have stretched really far, filling in all the little gaps here before they run out of territory to get. But yeah, Burundi is safe for a long time. Rhodesia should be trying to fight Ethiopia, maybe building up boats going after Congo, but nothing more. I see Congo with a caravel. We may soon, Brazil have settled the Falkland Islands, soon get the World's Congress. I think it's probably a little early, but there is starting to be some mixing. You can see Britain starting to just cross the ocean and the Sioux. They're meeting each other in the deeper water now of the Atlantic. I'm not sure anyone else is quite that far ahead yet. Australia is now entering the deep water. They have got over to New Zealand. And Korea is still going against Japan. I keep just like, every time I look, nothing's going on. Now I look back and all of a sudden they've done it. There you go, they grabbed the northern island, so it's not looking great for Japan. Korea, this is pretty good, because this is almost like, if they can grab all of this, then it's amazing, because this is not the sort of thing that Mongolia is going to take off you if you do go to war, so that's a big advantage. And I did also see that the Huns did grab the city here of Nisea, however it's pronounced, but there we go, the Huns looking pretty good. 6 cities, but of course next to Russia, who also have 6 and also look pretty menacing, so I'm sure we're surely going to get to see them go head to head at some point. But Russia obviously will have to be the one. Yeah, Russia definitely needs to be the one to declare or do something, because they've not really got any other options. Germany pieces out with Great Britain, so no success against Denmark, and Rome is starting to show up. This could get a little scary for Germany. This was looking like it might be an okay game for them early on. It's sort of fallen away. Hopefully they can pull it together, sort themselves out, and get it going okay. Are we going to see anything else crazy this turn? Anything new break out? We normally do get like two waves of wars. You get the first one in the first 100 turns, and you get a bit of a time off, and then everyone just goes at it again. Oh my goodness, Siam, what the heck? You probably can't see it, especially if you're like watching on a smaller screen. Wow, Siam. They just gifted Korea a shot at the winning this game. The Sioux must hate Siam. There you go. But Korea with a massive bonus, getting a huge 12-pop city in Southeastern Asia. Siam then declared war on Mongolia, as did the Khazar. I mean, that's not going to go... That doesn't matter at all. But massive mistake from Siam. Very costly. They'll probably never get this back as well. Like, that's the worst part. They are in big trouble now. Siam were doing good, but yeah, now I mean, seems like India will be licking their lips seeing a decision like that. That's disgracefully bad. Australia, is that Ian Smith? No, that's Rhodesia, isn't it? Ian Smith, or is it? Yeah, I don't know who Australia is, but I think Ian Smith is Rhodesia. Into the industrial era, I see a Gatling gun there. That's pretty impressive. I haven't seen anyone else with a Gatling gun. So the tech lead, I mean, the Sioux are definitely not making the most of their tech lead. That is for sure. Maybe it's because they have so many units, they can't afford to upgrade them all. That's quite a plausible sort of scenario there as well. Do see that happen a lot. Just not having the money or the resources to upgrade all their units. Pretty realistic. Right, Rome, how are you getting on here? They should go, I think they go, yeah, here they go. This should be like the moving in close to Berlin for the first time. Germany still has a fair few units if they call them all over properly. This should be, they're making slow baby steps. We'll see. Very slow baby steps towards Berlin. We'll see how it goes for them. France and Spain are 2 others to keep an eye on. Both were doing pretty well in the info addicts. So we'll see how they do. France with good amount of cities up here. Obviously more northern than what we know of France. And Spain obviously also more northern than Spain normally, but they also stretch down into Africa too. And Brazil has completed the Globe Theatre. They're so close here, but they're not going to get this city, I don't think. It'd be a surprise if they do. But it's not too far away. Some Reformation beliefs being added, as we saw last episode. A lot of the religions, especially the African and European religions, are all sort of fighting out pretty similar numbers. It looked like the ones that were isolated were doing the best. So I think it was the Sioux religion. Yeah, Protestantism is also doing very well in North America, and it will get all of South America probably eventually too, unless one of the West African religions maybe comes over. But looking at it, I don't know, maybe Zoroastrianism or something will come over. And then I think the other one belonged to India, was Hinduism, was the only Asian religion if you don't count Islam, because it's a bit nearer to Europe and Africa. But yeah, Hinduism was doing fairly well in East Asia, which was sort of second place, and then the rest were all very close, sort of ties. So we'll see. We'll see which religions win it out. But I mean, yeah, the Sioux religion's definitely Protestantism is going to have good numbers. The question is, like, will there be a more dominant one in Europe? Because Protestantism will spread to every city in South America, probably. But then it's sort of going to stop there. It's not going to spread too well across the Atlantic. It might do eventually, but yeah, it depends if there's like a really dominant one. If someone can, really win out in Europe and Africa, there is more cities available. Or if India gets all of Asia, that could be another way. Siam, they did lose a city, and this certainly doesn't, get them off the hook, but they did settle one, so there you go. That's a little bit better, but not ideal. Not great. Not good. Not good. Right, Byzantium, not really. Yeah, there's no way they get this back, and I feel like Constantinople, there's a few civs that would like that. I think the Attila would love that. I mean, obviously for him it would be a shortcut. You wouldn't need all this Roman water to get to the Mediterranean. But Babylon would probably like it as well, just to add to their borders. Rome would definitely want it to almost have a loop. Obviously Egypt's still here, but yeah, if they could hit Egypt from both sides, maybe that would make their lives a bit easier. Or have some boats to do other things. Definitely going to be a tempting city for some of these civs. Oh, the Aztecs? No, there's nothing. Okay, this is new. Another new city for them. And the Inca also grabbed one of the Caribbean cities. Aztecs not making too much use of the Panama Canal yet, but we'll see what they get up to. I'm sure eventually they'll use it. And what was I going to say? I was saying we might get a World's Congress soon. There's also a chance we won't. Some civs are obviously hidden away very much within the map. Like the Khazar can't really get out, and you can't really get to them. I mean, I know there's more waterways now, but a lot of them are now clogged up with borders and multiple borders. It's not like anyone owns this river at this point. You'd need open borders with everybody. So a lot of civs are very much locked away and hidden. Mongolia up here in the top of the map. Even Russia to some extent is very hidden away. Attila. Like these civs are very difficult to get to for an America's civ. Maybe someone from Europe would be the best shout. But even then, like finding Burundi is going to be incredibly difficult for even someone like Great Britain is exploring the water. So let's say Great Britain. So it's not going to be easy, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, the World's Congress might just never show up for a while, I don't know. But that will be it for this episode. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.